Howdy, 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 everybody. Happy Saturday. This is RJ Smith. This is the Crazy Podcast. And we have some little breaking news. It's been a slow night, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Don't really want to talk about stuff that we've been talking about the other few days, but it's just, you can't ignore this. This weekend, they are expecting millions and millions of people to come out across the country for what they are calling Ice Out Everywhere. So they are protesting about ICE. They don't want ICE. They don't want immigration and customs enforcement. That's what ICE means. And ICE has been around a long, long time, folks. This is nothing new, even though they act like it's something new. It's been around many, many presidents. Let me check something out right here. Excuse me, I just got done eating. So anyway, this it's not a No Kings rally. Sorry, I have that up there. It's an ice thing. It's basically the same thing. Um, it is taking place in countries. I'm sorry, in states all over the country. Let's take a look at what's happening here. Excuse me, guys. All right. So this is out ICE everywhere. Let me make sure that I am seeing this correctly. Everybody's seeing good. There's no problems. Let's hope so. So there is no war right now. Not yet with Iran. Do you guys think that is going to happen? Do you really believe that there's going to be a massive, massive, massive attack on Iran? And should we be getting involved at all? Yes, it's heartbreaking. I can relate. I'm sorry, let me put this out. I can relate to people being upset and worried about nuclear war and why are we helping Iran when we have problems at home? Well, I think we can do both things. But we have to come together. The reason we are thinking about taking out Iran is because they killed more than, they think it's 50,000 people now. It was 36. That's a big, big number, guys. That's a lot of people shot dead in the street. Yeah, so it's scary, man. It really is. It is scary. So let me go. Let's start this rodeo off, shall we? Now I was hearing. Why can't I see my? That's okay. We've all been hearing that there's a organization behind the protests, and we know that because they have the same helmets, the same signs, the same clothing and hats and hoodies, and it's all financed. But who is financing it? Well, Action Network, as you can see right here, is a organization that just likes putting on protests and creating chaos. And they've been all over the United States so far. And this is a sign up. They actually have a sign up page where you can sign up for the next look. There's going to be a lot of people out there today, guys. It just is. But what I wanted to go over today is a little bit about ICE history because I'm hearing a lot of people say that. Hold on a second. How's that? Is that better? All right. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? Okay. All right. So, what we're talking about then, sorry, the history of ICE, right? It's been around a long time. I'm going to play this little film for you just so you can understand what it is, where it came from, and how long it has been going on. So sit back, relax. Let's just watch this for a second so we can really understand that ICE is not a brand new agency. It just isn't, folks, right?
Its
We know
doors
that.
the same
All right.
day to unify our national security efforts in the wake of the nation's deadliest terror attacks.
I'm
With
sorry. Hold on a
operations
second. I have
beginning less than 20 years ago, it
we're
may
gonna
appear
do
to some
output.
that ICE is a
There we
young
go.
agency in a new department. March 1st, 2003. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is founded within the Department of Homeland Security, which opened its doors the same day to unify our national security efforts in the wake of the nation's deadliest terror attacks. With operations beginning less than 20 years ago, it may appear to some that ICE is a young agency in a new department. History, however, tells a different story. The functional history of ICE is rooted in our country's earliest days.
The earliest days, folks. This is nothing new. It was under presidents, independents, Republicans, Democrats. It doesn't really matter. It's been around for a long time. But now it's just kind of morphed into this insanity that we see. So I just wanted you to see that because I wanted to prove to you that this is old. And it came about after 9/11 when these guys right here decided they were going to blow up America by flying planes, passenger jets into the World Trade Centers, which collapsed, into the Pentagon, and into a field in Pennsylvania, which they say people were fighting on board to try to get control of the plane, but it went down. I personally believe that it was shot down. You can't afford that plane to continue on to Washington, D.C., because the next target could very well be the White House. So that's where ICE comes from. It's all based out of stopping people from coming into our country that are wanting to do us harm, like this. Do you guys remember this? Now, some of you might not have even been born yet when this happened, and that's okay. This is what it looked like, though. And I grew up in New York City, right? I mean, it was a very different place when I grew up. But I remember 1974 when they built them, right? I was a young boy, 10 years old, something like that. And it was one of the most incredible engineering projects around. But then they got knocked down and they had to create Homeland Security, which just came out too in the early 2000s. Check this out.
States of America. In the weeks and months to follow, a key part of our national response was to create the Department of Homeland Security and, within that department, ICE. Our efforts focus on dismantling transnational criminal organizations, preventing human trafficking and drug smuggling, battling cybercrime, rescuing victims of child predators and human traffickers, protecting intellectual property rights, and removing criminal non-citizens.
So that's their that's their whole purpose. And there you can see, guys, it's not new. Been around a long time. So if you want ICE out, you have to go back maybe 100 years to, to to get to its origin. I mean, come on, guys, really. We arrest and remove those who are illegally present in the country, including those who have ignored a judge's final order of removal and committed additional crimes. We work to strengthen the integrity of our entire immigration system, and our attorneys play a vital role in removal cases, including those against criminal non-citizens, terrorists. See, and that's the that's the thing right there. I do not agree with this president in the way he's doing the removals of illegal immigrants. I don't think we should be in the business of barging into people's homes, breaking their doors down, dragging away the father or the mother in front of the children, or dragging them all away, fighting with citizens out in the street, dragging them away. Here's the reason that came about. 90% of America's states have an agreement with the federal government that if a foreigner who is here on a temporary protective order or a visa, if they get arrested and convicted of a felony, then all bets are off, right? The crime bill says they go, and they go, period. And it's been going on a long time.
Immigration laws? Well, it is. After combining the customs and immigration responsibilities that evolved over time, you get ICE, protecting the nation's interests at home and abroad. ICE enforces nearly 450 criminal statutes and employs more than 20,000 people throughout the
That's about 100,000 people it employs now.
United States and in dozens of foreign countries. On an average day, ICE agents and officers make hundreds of criminal and civil arrests, seize millions in illegal currency, rescue victims of child predators and human traffickers, while also blocking thousands of malware attackers.
So as you can see, they do a lot of things. Most people are only familiar with them because of the recent going on. I don't agree with that policy. I think, if a state doesn't want to turn over their illegal criminal people, there's nothing we can really do about it. I mean, do we want to go into these, into these cities and towns and, counties and drag people through the streets, putting them in the back of a car? I don't like that. It doesn't have a good look to it. Okay, it just doesn't. Yesterday I had a family member call me up. I talked about it briefly, and this is an uncle who I've known 40 years, right? 40 years. And when I was little, he took care of me and stuff like that. Yesterday he calls me up. I'm not going to give his name. And right off the bat, he's attacking me as soon as I pick the phone up about my YouTube page. And he's saying that I am, basically distributing propaganda and that none of the stuff in the news is true. And here's the thing, though, right? I love my family and I love my uncle, right? I can't have stress like that put on me. It's, we have to agree to disagree in this country. And with my uncle, I said to him, can we agree to disagree? And basically, he was just going at me. Really hard. And I had to say goodbye and get off the phone because it was making me sick. I love my uncle a lot. And I can't believe that he would pick a political issue after a 45-year relationship with his nephew. But that's what happened. So I might have lost a family member yesterday. But you can't let people just scream and dump on you. If they don't agree with you, they don't agree with you. You say, okay, that's no problem. And change the subject, go somewhere else. That's what I tried to do yesterday. This happened in LA yesterday. I want to show it to you. Take a look.
Mexico's call to action.
From Los Angeles to Minneapolis, New York to San Francisco, demonstrators demanded an end to the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. A majority of Americans are at odds with the president's immigration enforcement, saying,
okay, that's a lie, right? I'm just calling out a lie that the majority of people are against the immigration. That's not true. Half of the country is for it and half is not. That's not most, right?
ICE tactics have gone too far after the shooting deaths of American citizens Renee Good and Alex Preddy, killed just 17 days apart in Minneapolis.
Our coverage begins with Mary Beth McDade with a look at protests that took place all across Southern California today. MB.
Yeah, Mike and Chair, earlier today, people got their messages out peacefully. But tonight, things changed and unrest broke out. Several people have now been arrested.
Clashes between protesters.
All right, I want to talk on this, folks. It doesn't matter what political party you believe in or you represent. You cannot attack a cop, guys. It doesn't matter whether it's ICE, police, sheriffs, deputies. You can't touch them. It's in the law. If you put a finger on an ICE agent or a police officer or someone trying to do their job, which is what they're doing, right? You got to remember, these are just guys who are federal agents and they've been ordered to do this. A lot of you say, well, why don't they just quit? Well, why should they quit? This is their career. They shouldn't quit just because of a little issue like this. Why would they quit? And also the second thing I want to talk about is the mask issue. All we've been hearing for almost a whole year now is ICE out. Why are you wearing a face mask? Take the face mask off. You're kidnapping people. It's just ridiculous. First of all, they are federal agents. Their lives are at risk. It's already been proven that these rioters or protesters, whatever you want to call them, have doxed these officers, which means followed them home, put their names and addresses on the internet. All of that stuff is illegal. They're just doing their job. You might not like what they're doing, but that's their job and they've been ordered to do it. Just like you, if you go to work and your boss tells you to do something, you might not like it, but you have to do it, right? Yeah.
and police Friday night in downtown LA. This after police declared an unlawful assembly and told people to disperse and issued a citywide tactical alert.
We're dispersing because we're afraid of the state and we won't.
They are afraid of the state. Now, there's only three reasons that you should be afraid of the state or the federal government. One, you're doing something you know you're not supposed to do, breaking a law, doing something, right? That's one way. Number two, pointing cars at people and trying to run people over is another way. Interfering or impeding with their job is another crime. So a lot of people are going to jail and they're going to find out, Lord, when they get found guilty, they're going to be in federal prison. And they probably won't get out until this president is out of the White House. So what really have you done other than ruin your life? You now have a felony conviction, which means you can't vote in a lot of states. You can't carry a gun ever again or a weapon. Jobs are hard to get because everybody does a background check. So you have to really think about this. Is this worth your freedom? Is it worth a possibility that you'll be killed? You don't know what's going to happen at these things. So keep that in mind, guys.
Don't want to experience state executions.
Thousands of protesters voiced their opposition to ICE and Donald Trump's immigration policies in front of City Hall and by the Federal Detention Center. They shouted, held signs, and some painted their messages.
See, now that's not peaceful protesting. That's screwing with somebody's property, creating damage, graffiti. It's a crime. Once you stop protesting, once that protest steps over the line to you, taking action, whether that's assaulting officers or doing graffiti or burning cars, all of that is not peaceful. They broke into stores a couple of days ago in Minnesota. That stuff is just not peaceful protesting. I'm all for peaceful protesting. I believe it's integral in our society. However, I don't like the fact that people just make stuff up, right? They just, ICE is illegal, ICE is kidnapping, ICE is all kinds of stuff they just make up just because they don't like them.
On buildings and buses.
They're the ones breaking the law because they're the ones that are out here tear gassing.
No, we're not. No, see, that's incorrect. I'm not on the side of ICE or cops or anyone. I'm just giving you the actual legal truth. She says they're doing something illegal. They're not. They are following the orders of their superiors who got their orders from their supervisors. So they're not doing anything illegal. They're allowed to go out into the society and pick up any person who has stayed in our country over the limit. It doesn't just mean, people from South America, right? Everybody. I mean, there's been Africans returned. There's been people returned to Europe. But they pick out their little group so that they can say, look at this and get all of your attention on this particular issue while forgetting all of the other stuff that they don't really want to talk about.
Pepper spraying, people exercising their rights to a First Amendment speech. And all these ICE agents are out here kidnapping people.
Nobody's kidnapping people. They constantly say this. They're kidnapping people. No, they're not. If you're in the U.S. illegally, you're fair game. It's not kidnapping. It's called enforcing our immigration law. I don't know. Maybe she should not pick up, sandwiches as much as she does.
Without a warrant. So they're in violation of the...
Without a warrant. That's my next point. Immigration officials do not need a warrant, right? They don't need a warrant. That's, you're thinking of criminal criminal crimes, right? Crimes, actual criminal crimes. Murder, robbery, whatever, speeding. They can do it. It's not kidnapping.
Constitution. So what I gotta say is ICE and Donald Trump.
Fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump. Look at her. Isn't she a nice, beautiful person? I don't agree with everything Trump does. But I'm never going to say F my president because I voted for Obama, right? I just did. I bought the Kool-Aid, you know. Voted for him twice, actually. Just like a lot of white people in this country. Millions and millions of white people. Those that are supposedly racist and Nazis and, you know, the Gestapo. We voted for a black president. And it wasn't very long ago. So I don't understand where all of this racism shit comes from, because I don't think it really applies in this matter.
While many protested peacefully, as the day wore on, tensions rose and
There you go. That's not peaceful.
some demonstrators could be seen throwing trash and
There you go. That's assault. It hit an officer. That's assault. That's punishable by 5 years in federal prison. These are local cops, so it would depend on the state. But still, that's illegal. You can't do that.
bottles at police. In response, police used pepper balls and tear gas for crowd control. Mayor Karen Bass reacted to the rallies.
I think the protests are extremely important, but it is equally important for these protests to be peaceful.
Right.
For vandalism not to take place.
That's right.
That just hurts the city. That does not impact the administration.
Protesters also took to the streets across Southern California as part of a national day of ICE out rallies taking place across the country. Large groups marched in Boyle Heights.
Stop ICE terror. Everybody has an opinion, and if your opinion differs from anything I say, don't get upset about it. We have to learn how to agree to disagree in this country. We just went over that. Oh, this is classic. This happened in Santa Clara, California. I lived out there. That covers San Jose, just next to San Francisco. So this this happened in the city council, I believe. Yeah, check this out and tell me this guy is not freaking mentally disturbed.
What the f are we doing here? Seriously, you have had months to prepare for this upcoming event. I don't give a damn if this is outside of decorum. People are dying on our streets every single day in this country
First of all, Batman would not be that fat. I'm just saying.
because we allow this federal government to walk all over you. Look me in the eye.
I can't look you in the eye because you're wearing this ridiculous mask.
Can any one of you go home to your children and tell them that you did everything you could to protect their classmates, to protect their grandparents,
Classmates, grandparents.
to protect them? I don't think you can, with the exception of Park. Thank you. This needs to have happened 2 months ago, but you can still make it up and make every single policy on this little sheet of paper here happen right now.
Batman has spoken.
Happen before the Super Bowl. Happen before potentially hundreds of masked men come into our city.
He's complaining about masked men coming into his city while wearing a mask.
And kill people. I am disgusted by each and every one of you, with the exception of Councilmember Park, that you have not done something more.
Do you think anybody takes this guy serious? I mean, imagine you dressing up as Batman. Albeit a fat Batman, but a Batman, and going into a city council meeting and berating the council while you're wearing a mask and a Batman outfit, okay?
You need to affirm that no city resources will go to ICE, that no cooperation will be given to them. You need to affirm.
Here's the thing, folks. federal law trumps state law. Excuse the name Trump, but it supersedes state law. So there's no way that people can just keep ICE out. You can't go to your mayor, your congressman, anybody, and to keep a federal agent out. They have full jurisdiction and go where they want. I'm just saying, that's the law, okay?
To the country, to the world, that you are not cowards. Because as of right now, I stand in front of a council of cowards. And if you do not act, you're not just cowards, you are traitors.
Wow.
Traitors to each and every individual you serve.
Really?
To each and every individual that lives in this country, legal or not. You need to do something about getting these policies into writing, ensuring that your officers do not cooperate with ICE, ensuring that they cannot use city resources.
Here's the problem with that, folks. It all sounds good when you're, just a Batman wannabe and you want to say this has to happen or that has to happen. If you don't like what's going on, vote for a different candidate. And when the other candidate happens to win, that doesn't mean you have 4 to 8 years of free reign to protest and riot. And it's just fucking stupid. Let's try to bring our country together. Stop this nonsense. Get our senators and congressmen to work together. Get our governors and mayors to get on the same page as per the law.
That they cannot tap into city data before more people die. Yes, more people die. I don't think I need to go into.
All right, if you remember, 2 people died, and one person was the girl, Good, Renee Good, who, whether you agree or not, hit an officer, right? Because he was standing in front. Some people are saying, well, why are you standing in front? They do that all the time, just like the protesters stand in front of cars. But ICE doesn't run them over, right? But the other way around, no problem. They have no problem hitting ICE, killing ICE. And I'm not just talking about ICE, I'm talking about cops, period. I don't like it. Look, I am not a fan of cops. I just ain't. I just aren't.
How many people have been shot? How many people have been taken?
2 people have been shot.
How many children have been abducted and used as bait?
Nobody's getting abducted. They're being arrested.
I don't need to tell you that. You see it on the TV every single day. I don't want you to sit back and watch. I want you to fucking do something.
What are they going to do? They can't tell a federal agency what to do. It's a big problem that we're having in this country is people don't know the law. People don't know the Constitution. These guys have no clue what the hell they're talking about because they don't know the law. They're just listening to someone else and then implementing their own thoughts based on that basis. And look, that's not a good foundation right there. That's all I have to say on ICE today. I'm done with it. But now I have to move on to the buildup in the Gulf of Oman. It's going down, folks. It's getting really, really hectic. Here's what's happening over there.
Boasted about its capabilities.
We have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now, and it would be great if we didn't have to use them.
But some Iranians tracking the buildup of U.S. military forces tell us they want him to use them and fast.
If I am Mr. Donald Trump, I don't give even one more day to Islamic Republic to recover.
We spoke with 5 protesters who are not sharing their real names to protect their families in Iran. 4 are now outside the country. 1 is still inside. All say they attended the biggest protests on Thursday, January 8th.
Guys, you see the fires? They're burning cars down. They're building. These people in Iran really want their freedom. This is not a protest anymore in Iran. It's an uprising. So the media keeps saying a protest. No, it's not a protest. More than 50,000 Iranian civilians have been gunned down by their own regime.
And Friday, January 9th, which took place across nearly 200 cities in all 31 provinces, including the capital of Tehran, where Farhad was back home visiting his parents.
As soon as we exit from the building, we could see the crowd of people. I have not seen it in Tehran before. I was seeing the hope in my father's face.
These are people that want freedom.
70-year-old man. He was really excited, full of hope.
And in the city of Isfahan that night, the same chant.
Everybody was chanting, "Long live the king. This is the last strike that Reza."
See, we're having no king protests over here, and over there in Iran, they want their king back.
Pahlavi is going to come back.
This is Parisa, a protester we interviewed in person.
And then around 20-30 motorbikes made a line in front of the group without any warning, nothing. They just started shooting people.
Yeah, viewer discretion, be careful, guys, because I didn't edit out the bodies or anything. I'm just showing you what is on the news, so therefore it's not illegal to show you, right?
Right into their faces and bodies. What I could see was legs falling down and blood everywhere on the floor, on the street. And I could see screaming, shouting.
Back in Tehran, Farhad and his parents were tear-gassed.
I was seeing my mother's face, full of tears. It was really scary. But again, the day after, which was on Friday, we decided to go out again.
The next morning, the supreme leader gave a speech calling the protesters terrorists. In Farhad's neighborhood.
Imagine that, guys. Imagine the #1 terrorist on earth calling his citizens who are protesting against his terrorism. What the fuck?
But he says security forces were emboldened.
They started opening fire on the people, and I saw 5 or 4 people falling down, and they are using snipers. They also used heavy machine guns, the one that has the power to destroy a building, and they are using it to shoot at the people. Can you imagine what's the result?
3 weeks later, the death toll still unclear. A U.S.-based human rights group puts the confirmed number at more than 6,300. The regime concedes the death toll was at least 3,000.
That is a low, low number when everybody else is saying that last week there were 36,000 deaths. That these Iranian Revolutionary Guards were going out into the streets. You see how packed the streets are? They were just mowing people down with machine guns.
But with body bags stacked outside of morgues and families still trying to identify loved ones, the people we spoke with are certain it's...
God, guys, look at that. Is that a shame? And these are women, very young children, and men. They just killing everybody.
Far higher. The same organization estimates more than 42,000 people have been arrested, and Amnesty International warns that prisoners could be at risk of arbitrary execution. From her home in Tehran this week, another protester, Soraya, sent us voice notes.
If you can, help us. If you can, help us.
Everyone, she says, is waiting.
It's like the calm before the storm. People are waiting for foreign people help to take to the street again.
Now they want backup from America.
Do you want President Trump to launch airstrikes? Do you want boots on the ground?
Anything that it takes to stop this barbaric regime is what the Iranian people want.
Molly Hunter, NBC News, London.
Look at them. God bless them, man. Now, we're over there, and we are thinking about taking out the leadership of Iran. My opinion on that is it our job to do that? It's not. But as the leader of the free world, when a whole country wants freedom and you have a terrorist killing them, who else should step in other than the leader of the free world and take them out? Just saying. That's my own opinion. You might have a different opinion, and we agree to disagree. That's how it works, usually. We also deployed yesterday our Doomsday plane, and this is supposed to survive nuclear war. What it does very well as a nuke sniffer. It has the most amazing sensors on it so that it can sense from, 30,000 feet up what's happening on the ground. What is there? Is it a nuclear weapon? Is it a ballistic weapon? Is there any nuclear material? That's what this thing does.
All right, moving on. Amid heightened speculation over American military strikes in Iran, a U.S. Air Force plane called the Nuke Sniffer has landed at the Mildenhall U.S. Air Base in Britain. The deployment has heightened speculation that it could be related to Iran. Officially called the WC-135R Constant Phoenix jet, the Nuke Sniffer is used to detect radiation leaks into the atmosphere on account of nuclear explosions or related incidents. The aircraft is operated by U.S.'s 45th Reconnaissance Squadron. The Nuke Sniffer was last deployed at the Mildenhall Air Base weeks before Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The aircraft's past deployments have been closely linked to nuclear accidents and nuclear tests. It was deployed in 1986 after the Chernobyl nuclear disaster.
This plane is almost 40 years old, but it has the most updated and intricate sensors. It's amazing, guys. So that's over there now. There's also another aircraft carrier, so that makes 2 aircraft carriers. And I want to show you this. I haven't shown you anything like this since we started covering this story. I don't want that there. Come on. Okay. Well, we don't have a choice. We're going to be forced to watch that, huh? All right. So what are you looking at here? You are looking at our assets in the Middle East right now. As you can see in the red, it's Iran. Across here you have Saudi and all the other little ones. Pakistan is over here. Afghanistan is over here. Turkmenistan is there. I mean, so these, first of all, if you go over here to Turkey, Erdogan is trying to get Trump to not retaliate against the Iranian regime. But we've been dealing with this for 47 years, folks. Ever since they invaded Iran, because that's what these did. Iran is not a religious country. It never has been. It was a free country. You could practice any religion you want. They were democratic, And then these psycho Islamists took over, and for 47 years, people have been suffering. This is like the 4th or 5th uprising trying to kick the dictator out. What he does, he always goes to a bunker and he waits it out until the people get tired and go home, and then he comes back, and then they round all the people up that they can identify who were protesting and hang them. Yeah. So let's go here to the north. I told you yesterday how they were surrounded. Here's the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, which you can see is sitting right off the coast of Syria, along with F-35 CFA-16 MiGs. That's a really good plane. Those are brand new. They are stealth, but not as stealth as the B-2 or the F-22. You also have EA-156 Growlers, which are really freaking amazing. You have 3 support ships. And then you have, of course, these airfields that we're in, right? And you come down here, check this out. We are literally right off the coast. Well, it looks like it, but we're not. It's maybe probably, 20, 30 miles off the coast. Our battleships and our destroyers are just waiting. This is a drone right here. Of course, here's the USS Abraham Lincoln, and here's the Eisenhower. So you can see how they got the south and the northwest pretty much covered. It's going to be a hell of a campaign if it does start. I don't like it starting because I don't like war, but I don't like this regime at all. So just last week, this is what the equipment looked like. You see there's no aircraft carrier up here. So this is what first arrived. And now it's just ridiculous. And that, my folks, is what I have for you on this Saturday. And yeah, so I hope you liked it. I hope there was something you found informative about it. Now, look, I'm going to ask you, all I really need is you to hit the like button, the thumbs up, and subscribe, maybe share it. Those are 3 free ways you can help us get to 100,000 subscribers. We're pushing 96,000 right now. So that's it, folks. Have a good day. And I will see you right back here on Monday, because Sunday I do videos. So Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. for the live stream. And then every morning, 7 a.m. for a short, crazy news video. Take it easy, guys. I will see you right back here tonight at 9 p.m. Yep, that's it.